If you're a videographer out there and you're still stuck in this hustle mentality of how to actually make it as a creative entrepreneur here going into 2025, in today's video, I want to show you the fastest path forward to actually making 5 figures a month inside of your video business or as a freelancer, and probably the reasons why you're overcomplicating it and why it might not be as hard as you think. For those of you out there that don't know who I am, my name is Evan Andrews, and for the past 2 years, I have been helping other videographers just like you actually implement offers into their businesses that actually help them get to 5 and 6-figure retainers each and every single month. And in this video today, I want to break down the science and the math to actually getting to a 5-figure month and why you're actually probably overcomplicating the entire process. So we're going to jump into the computer here. We're going to do a little bit of math, and then we're going to dive deeper into how we're going to be able to get there. So to actually hit 5 figures consistently in your video business, the first number that you actually have to get to is 10K. And getting to 10K might sound like an arduous process for many, but the math actually breaks down to much simpler than you probably think. So to get to 10K, right, we want to get to 10K months. What does that actually look like, right? Well, you can have one client paying you 10K. That would get you there really quick, right? But you can have 2 clients paying you 5K. You can have 3 clients paying you roughly $3,300 a month. Or you could have something like 5 clients maybe paying you 2K, right? Something like that. And managing anywhere from 1 to 5 clients a month is not really that big of a task for many of those out there that have worked with clients before. You know that you can feasibly do, 1 to 5 projects a month, no problem. Why do so many of you out there, why are you not able to actually get to that 10K month? Well, let's talk a little bit about the few things that you need to do to actually be able to get there. So first step in actually getting to 10K months, and this is another big scary one for everybody out there, but this is actually niching down. Niche down. Now, heard the term before. We're in 2025 right now. It's probably been spit at you through other various pieces of content. Why do you need to niche down? Well, by niching down, you hone in your messaging to one particular person, one particular avatar that actually needs to hear that message. When you are more sporadic, or you talk to, let's say, for example, you work with entrepreneurs and businesses, you cannot serve every single business with your video services, because when you speak to everyone, you actually speak to no one. So niching down has got to be step 1 if you want to actually create the consistency in what it is that I believe everybody out there actually wants to build for themselves and getting to that 5-figure months, month over month. Niching down is, again, it's one of the scariest things because you actually believe as a videographer, you believe that you're leaving money on the table by not working with everybody that comes your way. And while there may be a microcosm shred of truth to that, by actually niching down and honing in on a particular person, you are actually going to speak to more people that actually need your services as a videographer. And I know that when I first started, and the niche that I chose was kind of the home service realm. I specifically found that I wanted to work with people like in like the contractor space, right? The home services space, because I saw a void in how these types of companies were actually running their marketing, presenting themselves, getting clients, right? They were doing all of the things that most of you videographers out there do. You're relying on the referrals. You're out there at networking events. You're pounding the pavement. You're doing what you can to make a buck, right? But I knew that I could come in and I could create content strategies around their products, their services, their offers, and be able to actually put more eyeballs onto them and have more people inquire for them. Now, I ended up shifting gears a little bit simply because due to where I live, weather conditions, different things like that, being outside with all of the camera equipment and everything that I do is just not something that aligned with what I wanted long term. So I did make an eventual pivot. And the niche that I kind of landed in on that I particularly loved working with was you can chalk it up to consultants, right? So if you're a consultant really of any caliber, right? I don't care what you consult on. Because I also do coaching and also are a bit of a consultant myself, I really aligned with those people. I really loved creating content around the knowledge that just flows from these individuals. So that's the niche that I have inevitably, kind of stuck to and ran my marketing and advertising towards so that I could help those individuals in their specific situations. Now, I could have micro niched down even further to a specific type of consultant, but I found that I didn't really care the type of consultant. I just knew that I could talk to consultants in general. So again, by choosing your niche, you're actually going to speak to more of the right people than more of the wrong people, and you actually won't waste your time. Step 2 that actually needs to happen for you to be able to grow to a consistent 5-figure month is you need to implement an inbound opportunity system for you. Inbound system. So this is for leads. Right? How are we consistently going to get leads each and every month and not have to do all of those things that I know that you guys are doing of going to network events, relying on people to send you business, cold calling, or, walking into places and just seeing how you can maybe help somebody, right? We want to set up an inbound lead system because actually what having an inbound system does for you is it works while you don't have to actually do specific types of work. Right? If you have an inbound lead generation system set up, and you're able to get leads each and every, day, month, week, whatever it is, you can still go do those networking things and be out in your community and shaking hands, kissing babies, doing all that kind of stuff, right? You can still do that and you can have something else also working in the back end. And by doing both of those things, you actually kind of become kind of like a local celebrity, right? You walk into one of these networking events and somebody sees you in your face and they're like, I just got hit with your ad right before I got here. Boom, they make a connection. And then now that in-person connection is even deeper, right? But I would say that at bare minimum, you should have an inbound lead generation system for one simple reason. And that is because this is more predictable. Going to those networking events, relying on those referrals, those things are not predictable. You don't know who's going to show up. You don't know what's going to hit your email inbox each and every week. You just don't know, right? But by setting up an inbound system, and in this case, an inbound system can look like an ad, sending them to a place like your Instagram, for example, and then asking them to DM you to talk. That's an inbound lead system. You are putting up a piece of content, you're paying for the impression, you're generating eyeballs to a landing page, and in this case, maybe your Instagram, or sending them to your DMs directly, depending on the campaign that you may set up there. And then you're chatting with somebody, like literally 1, 2, 3, right? So this is a more predictable way on how you can actually bring in leads and generate conversations, because at the end of the day, that's all this is. Lead generations is just conversations had between you and a prospect. That's it. And another thing that I believe inbound lead systems do better than, the outbound or, those other methods that most of you guys are probably working with, is that they offer a higher status frame in what it is that you're doing, right? If you have the authority and knowledge in knowing that certain things can be done through your video systems, strategies, and all that, and you are putting up the ads, you are doing everything that you need to do, you're practicing what you're preaching, right? So if I can generate you leads through this same exact system, I'm practicing what I preach. I'm doing it, therefore I am living it, therefore you, as the potential consumer, will see it and say, maybe there's some validity to what they're doing here, because why would they waste their money on doing something that didn't work? It gives you that higher authority frame in knowing that what you're doing actually does work, and it's a transfer of energy into the prospect towards you, and that's what inevitably draws them in. And then the third most important part of growing your video business to a consistent 5-figure month is actually having real, proper sales conversations, right? So I talked about how, generating leads to my DMs was, what I like to do. Now, what most people out there do is they you're chatting back and forth. Hey, person, blah, 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 right? We're chatting back and forth. And then, they ask, how much is this going to cost me, right? And then what do? You answer back with, oh, it'll be this much for the thing that you said that you wanted, right? And then what happens from there, right? You drop maybe a high price because you feel like you're worth it, whatever, and they don't say anything. And then what happens from here is you reach out, and nothing from them, right? They literally go ghost mode. So how do we actually drop high prices and get somebody to say yes to them? So what we actually have to do is we actually have to push these people from the DMs to a proper sales conversation. For me, the way that I take my sales calls is I take them through Zoom call. Put them on face to face, get acquainted with somebody that that you're actually about to ask them for $5K or $15,000 or whatever it might be that you're going to ask them for. Get face to face with them. Don't do it over a regular, phone call. You can't build rapport that way and actually get somebody to understand how it is that you're going to help transform their situation by doing that over the phone. Now, can you to an extent? Are there salespeople and companies out there that sell over the phone and sell high ticket over the phone and all of that? Yes, there are. But I have, in doing this for as long as I've been doing it, putting a face to face with the prospect is the most economical way for them to buy into you as a service provider. So you don't have to use Zoom. You could do Google Meet, right? You could do Teams, whatever. Just you need to get them on a video call, right? Now, once you get them on a video call, what do you have to do from there, right? There is a particular cadence that a traditional sales call goes through, and that generally starts out with building rapport, right? So we have to understand where they're at. We have to know, their struggles, right? We have to know their current efforts. We have to know, why they want to change. We have to know these things. We don't know these things, then us dropping a high ticket price on them, they are just going to value it at the face value of the dollar amount, and they're not going to understand how this thing is going to be transformative for them. So we want to take them from, really knowing and understanding these things, and then bridging a gap, right, to, what you might call their promised land, right? The ultimate thing that they want. We need to know what that is so that we can position our videos and the things that we're making for them as the tools to be able to get them there. Another analogy here is, an airline, for example. An airline, when you see a commercial for, Southwest, Delta, any of these major airlines, right? They're not showing you what a packed, squished, coach flight looks like, right? They are positioning the island getaway. They are positioning the person that you want to be in the place that you actually want to be, and they are leveraging their mechanism, in this case, their plane flight, as the thing that's going to be able to help you achieve that outcome. And that's all we're doing here with our videos and the video services that we offer to the clients. But we have to put them on a proper video sales call so that we can do that to the best of our ability. So stop just dropping your price there in the DMs like I know a lot of people out there do, and get people on a proper sales call. It is going to be the thing that is going to explode and change the way that your video business runs and operates and actually generates revenue. So there you have it. The fastest path to 5 figures as a video business or a freelance videographer is doing 3 key things. You have to first niche down, talk to one specific type of person and explain to them how your offer can help them. The second thing that you need is you need to implement an inbound lead generation system. You can still do your outbound, but you must implement an inbound system so that you can wake up each and every day to your phone buzzing with interested prospects in what it is that you do and how you serve them. And then the third thing is you just need to have proper sales conversations with people. Stop dropping your high ticket prices in the DMs if you haven't gone through the proper channels and understanding how to transition somebody from where they are to where they want to be, because that's going to be the thing that helps it make sense for the price that you actually want to charge for your video work. And if you're a videographer out there and you've gotten to the end of this video and you're thinking to yourself, Evan, this is exactly what I want to do. I want to grow in 2025. I need help. I need to figure out how to implement all of these things that you're telling me. In the description of this video, you can scroll down, you can find a link back to my Instagram, and you can go over there, you can check out some of my content, see how I'm helping other people each and every day, do this same kind of thing. And then if you just DM me the word grow over there, I'll know exactly why you're there. I'll know that you watched this video. I will know that you are somebody who is serious about actually making a change in what it is they're doing and start charging the money that you know that you're worth. So again, if you got this far, make sure check out the description. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel here. I am trying to grow this up a little bit and do a little bit more long form content after solely just focusing on short form for the past few years. I have made it a goal for myself in 2025 to release more long form content so you guys can understand a little bit more about how I tick and what I believe and what I preach. So again, if you're ready to grow in 2025, find my link back to my Instagram in the description, and I'll see you guys on the other side.